Hello everyone, this is a 2v2 commentary battle with myself playing as France, Eagle Eye playing as Spain, Admiral Nelson as Prussia, and Hereward the Wake as Austria. Now this is one of the new maps after the update in the DLC. It is, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. It will be in the description though. This is Eagle Eye moving his Spanish lights forward. Spain now have some new units from the DLC. They're really the only ones to gain hugely from it. They have units now that can deploy outside the deployment zone. This is Spain's cavalry and the Austrian cavalry, and Eagle also has some infantry behind which are going to shoot the Austrian cavalry as well, and he's sending another cavalry unit in behind, so I see. Basically I'm going to concentrate more on Eagle Eye's side than on mine to start with. Not a huge amount happens on mine to start with, so we'll be watching this side. There's some cavalry again still going at each other. I believe they're both Lancer units going at each other there. The Austrian Lancer units I believe are better. So Eagle Eye runs away, and there's the infantry now just going to shoot the cavalry up. Infantry and lights there. And now he's going to charge a unit of Lancers, which are just stationary, so they will rout away pretty quickly. As you can see, the Austrians taken the house there as well, so he's got the house advantage, so at some point Eagle Eye's going to have to deal with that. He's also down a stake line, and he's got the house to his left, so both his flanks have a house on. He's got stakes through the centre. Here's the Austrian, I think they're the Grenadiers in the house. So as you can see in the background as well, here they are now. The cavalry are still fighting each other, and now the Austrians brought some lines up, so it looks like Eagle Eye is going to pull out of that engagement. Yeah, there's a unit of the Austrian line coming up here. Now over on my flank I hit a couple of units of cavalry. I didn't wait for my opponent to go past, and then I decided to charge the cavalry in straight into the side of him. These are the mounted chasseurs basically, so they're not fantastic at melee, but I find that they do an excellent job fighting against other cavalry as well, as they seem to get a shot off before they engage the cavalry, so it already takes the advantage away from the opposite cavalry and gives you a huge advantage considering that they've got a lot less numbers than you have. So this is why I choose this cavalry mainly over anything else. I don't use the Lancers anymore since the new DLC. The fact that once you engage they don't form square actually means that your cavalry gets shot up very, very quickly. Whereas before, if they formed a square while in melee, you could just run away and they didn't get shot off while they were in square. But now, you actually lose your cavalry very, very quickly. As you can see here, Eagle Eye has had to pull back a little bit on his left, as Austrian moved his lines forward and he didn't want to get into a melee with his lights, so he pulled them away. And now I'm moving some units up here to take the flank to make sure Eagle Eye doesn't get flanked by my opponent. And now they're fighting in the house at the moment, which, if it's a melee Spanish line against Austrian Grenadiers, the Grenadiers should win that pretty comfortably. Here's my cavalry again. I decided to take them away from the line and the lights and go straight for their general. The figuring is I've got a general. If I can kill their general and I've got the old guard, then they will rout very quickly whenever I push the old guard forward. So I try and use these two cavalry units basically to kill the general. And here again it's just the line So both the armies firing. Okay, so we're just looking down his stake line there. And here there's the cavalry charge going to come in. I don't form square on them. I decide to move them out, just out of the forest. And then I eventually turn the other line as well. I believe they're both young guard units. I turn the other line in to shoot the cavalry up. Because they're charging through a forest, they're not going to give a huge amount of losses to me, being lancers. So they're going to slow down, which they have been slowed down anyway, I believe. But they're going to slow down. And then their melee's not very good, so I'll be able to get away with that. And here's the second cavalry unit that I had, or what was left of it, charged in, and they managed to rout the general away. Unfortunately they don't kill him, but they do manage to rout him away, which makes a huge difference later, as you're going to see. So they've routed away now. All my cavalry behind is now gone. And Eagle Eye's in a light-on-light battle. And as you can see, I sent some support across there for Eagle for the house, as I have a lot better infantry than him, having old guards, young guards, and so on. I can't attack my opponent's right, as he has a lot of lights, so I have to hold off really my attack there. So I try and support Eagle as best I can on this flank. As you can see, I've taken the house position now. I've got a Polish unit, one unit of lights, and some old guard in there as well. And here's two old guard units moving up, coming outside the house, which should instantly scare these guys and make them run. It's worked with one of them, and there's another one here as well. And it says they're frightened. So the old guard are very handy in just scaring units. They don't necessarily need to engage, but just the fact that them being there can give you a great advantage over your opponent. Here I move my lights back into the forest a little bit. My lights are nowhere near as good as the Prussian lights, so I move them back into the forest, give them that little bit extra advantage over them. So they're going to just do a light-on-light battle for a little while. And my two old guard units are going to come up. Pardon me. My two old guard units are going to come up on the flank. I'm going to attempt to outflank my opponent. And I've also got one unit of cav going around there as well. Basically, I know I can attack the right. Looks like he pushed up on me though. He's trying to go melee in the house, which is silly. As you can see, the bars across the top of their heads is already red because there's no guard unit in there, so they're actually scared of doing it. But they're going to attack the house anyway, and they're going to run away really, really quickly. Especially now I've got rid of their general. They've got no one to give them any kind of encouragement to get back and fight. So once they run, they'll just run away. As you can see, one unit's turned around already, and they're off out the door again. You can see my Polish there, going in melee on them. As I say, these old guard units really are very, very good. Most people completely underestimate them, but they are in actual fact very, very, very influential units over your men and the opponents. So something like that, where they tried to get into the house, was really not going to happen for them at all, because in fact the old guard unit was there. So as I say, I had two old guard units trying to roll them up on the flank. They decide to move forward, as they don't really have much of a choice now. Eagle has won, and basically it's just a cattle shoot, and I'm just going to shoot everything up that I can. So I've gone in melee there with a couple of my cav on the last Austrian unit. Now I come out of the house, and I'm going to form a line, and I'm going to take on his lights. Now with the line, now there's no line behind them. If I get into any trouble, I can go melee without any kind of problem. Here's my lights firing off against their lights again. So basically I had no real plan on this. Eagle Eye played a very, very good game. Being Spain, they're not a great nation, even though they've got all these new units. It hasn't really made them any much better in the fact of their unit quality. So even though they've got these units that can hide and do special things with them, you've still got to be able to use your units very, very effectively to get the best out of them. So as my cav just charging in, they're routing away, they've obviously been shot. So they're running away now. So that's pretty much the Prussian dead on that side, and the Prussian's going to run away very quickly on this side as well now. As I say, killing the general, well, getting rid of the general, I didn't actually manage to kill him. Getting rid of the general was the main thing here. Here you can see some of my line going melee on theirs. Just basically trying to route them as quickly as possible, save all my losses. And that's that. So it's a good game to everyone involved. I'd like to say thank you for Eagle Eye for playing this game with me, and very well played to him. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the battle.